At 70, you probably think you know your body well. You rest when needed, you eat better, you see the doctor more often. But there's one part of your health that many older men either avoid talking about or completely overlook: your intimate, personal health. You might be thinking, masturbation? At this age? I've done it my whole life. What's the big deal? But what if I told you that this private, familiar act, something you've done for decades, can become risky, even dangerous, if done the wrong way after 70? A 73-year-old man, no heart condition, no major illness, passed away quietly in his bedroom after a simple moment of self-intimacy. No trauma, no accident, just a body that couldn't handle one silent mistake. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 4 common mistakes that men over 70 often make during masturbation. These aren't things you'll hear from your doctor during a checkup, but they could be affecting your circulation, your heart, your sexual function, and ultimately, your independence. Call to action. CTA, if you're serious about your health, and not just surviving, but aging with confidence and control. Stay with me. This may be the most important 10 minutes you give your body this week. Engagement, invite, comments. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt dizzy, weak, or had your heart race after a private moment? Type 1 if you've ever thought this isn't a big deal. Type 0 if you've been worried but didn't know where to start. Let's open the conversation, learn from each other, and age wisely. Not fearfully, but powerfully. 1. Masturbation when the body is tired or exhausted. There are things we do so often for so long that we stop thinking about them, like sipping a glass of water, taking a deep breath, or seeking out a quiet moment of release. Masturbation, for many men, especially past 70, is nothing new. It's not shameful, not wrong. In fact, it can be a meaningful way to reconnect with yourself, especially in a body that has seen decades of change. But the body at 70 doesn't function like it did at 30, or even 50. The heart doesn't pump with the same force, blood vessels are stiffer, blood pressure is less stable, and most importantly, when you're tired, after yard work, a long walk, or a restless night, that quiet moment of relief could come at the exact time your body is least prepared to handle the extra strain. Masturbation, though private, still puts your body under physical stress. Your heart rate rises, blood pressure fluctuates, muscles tense, and if your body's already low on energy or dehydrated, those added demands can create a dangerous internal reaction. I once treated a 74-year-old man, healthy, no history of heart disease. Late one evening, after working in the sun all day, he decided to relax before bed. A moment of relief, he thought, but minutes later he felt dizzy, tight in the chest, and collapsed on the way to the bathroom. Luckily, his wife found him in time. This isn't rare. You don't need to be ill to be at risk. All it takes is the wrong moment. When the body's exhausted, blood pressure regulation falters. Sudden shifts in posture after orgasm, especially while standing, can cause blood to pool in the lower body. Your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. You feel faint, you fall, or worse, your heart can't keep up. But the damage isn't just physical. Many men feel embarrassed after a scare like this. They retreat, stop talking about it, and start believing maybe they're too old for intimacy altogether. They lose that private connection to themselves and the quiet joy it once brought. The truth is, you don't need to stop. You simply need to be wiser. Give your body the rest it needs. Drink water. Wait until you feel refreshed, steady, and safe. Because masturbation isn't something to get over with. It's a personal experience, one that deserves presence, care, and respect. Your body deserves that at every stage of life. 2. Doing it too fast, lacking mental connection. By now, you've likely grown used to rushing to take your morning pills, rushing through follow-up doctor visits, rushing errands, chores, and even pushing your own feelings aside, thinking, that's not important anymore. But there's one thing in life that should never be rushed: the quiet, private moments you spend with yourself. Many men over 70 still masturbate, not out of raging desire, but for connection, comfort, or simply to feel a sense of self still alive inside this aging body. And yet, over the years, that moment can slowly become a routine, rushed, emotionless, disconnected. You go into the room, you get it done. No thought, no feeling, no breath. It's like checking something off a to-do list instead of an experience to be felt and lived. And that lack of connection is what quietly drains your body, not the act itself, but how you do it. When you rush, your nervous system stays tense. Your breathing is shallow, your muscles tighten, your mind is distracted. Your body doesn't read this as pleasure, it reads it as stress. Blood vessels constrict, circulation weakens, pressure builds. Even your prostate feels it. I've spoken to many men who say, "I don't feel much afterward, just tired or empty." Others complain of numbness, slower recovery, or weaker erections. Many blame age, but often the real issue isn't your age, it's how you're treating yourself. Masturbation shouldn't be secretive, rushed, or shame-driven. It can and should be a mindful, gentle moment of connection with your body. When you slow down, take deep breaths, and allow yourself to be present, something changes. Blood vessels open, stress fades, your nervous system settles, and suddenly you're no longer doing something to your body. You're feeling something with it. I've seen firsthand how this one change, slowing down, transforms the entire experience. Better sleep, less anxiety, stronger emotional connection, not just to others, but to yourself, because you are still whole, still capable, still worthy of pleasure, connection, and peace, even in solitude. You don't have to keep rushing. Your body doesn't need speed, it needs presence. 3, perform in dangerous positions, like standing in the bathroom. After 7 decades of living, you might think, "I know what I'm doing. I've done this all my life." Masturbation. It's private, familiar, and natural. You know your rhythm, how to relax, how to make it quick and move on. But what you may not realize is this: the position you choose, something that once felt harmless, could now be the most dangerous part. You stand in the shower, lean over the sink, sit half-perched at the edge of the bed. You've done it that way for years, it worked before, but your body today isn't the body you had at 40. Over 70, balance, blood pressure, and reflexes aren't what they used to be. When you stand or tense up during climax, blood can rush downward faster than your heart can push it back up to your brain. This can trigger a sudden drop in blood pressure, known as post-orgasmic hypotension. It might begin as lightheadedness or a dizzy spell, or it might end with a sudden fall. Your body on the cold floor, your independence hanging by a thread. I once cared for a 76-year-old man, healthy, independent, no heart problems. He slipped in the shower after masturbating while standing. The fall fractured his hip, changing everything. He couldn't walk unaided anymore. He stopped bathing alone. He lost his confidence, and with it, a piece of his identity. All because of one unsafe position. And it's not just about falling. When you repeat uncomfortable postures, sitting awkwardly, no back support, knees bent tight, you put pressure on your lower back, hips, pelvic floor, and even sciatic nerves. Over time, this leads to chronic pelvic discomfort, numbness in the legs, and reduced ease during future intimacy. So what's the solution? Simple. Sit down comfortably with support. Don't stand, especially not in slippery environments like the bathroom. Let your feet rest flat. Lean into a cushion, into a sturdy chair. Let your body be safe first, then comfortable. You might say, it's just a few minutes. What could go wrong? But aging teaches us that one careless moment can cost us months of recovery or years of freedom. You're not fragile. You're just living in a body that needs a different kind of care. Stability, awareness, intentionality. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. And above all, it's a quiet act of respect for yourself. 4. Ignoring signs of changes in sensation or function. Some changes arrive quietly, not like a sharp pain, not like a sudden fall, just a shift you can't quite name. You used to feel everything more vividly, A simple touch could spark a response. A private moment could bring relief, connection, even joy. But now maybe things feel different. It takes longer to feel aroused. Sensitivity seems to fade. Recovery after climax takes more time. And sometimes you finish, but it doesn't feel like much happened. Many men over 70 think, it's just aging. It's normal. But no, it's not just age. It could be the early signs of circulation issues, hormone imbalance, nerve changes, or prostate dysfunction. And if you ignore it, you may miss the chance to prevent something more serious. I've met too many men who came to me when it was already too late. It began with low sensitivity, then progressed to erectile dysfunction, urinary problems, pelvic pain, or a diagnosis of BPH. They often said, I noticed it a while ago, but I thought it was just part of getting older. And that right there is the most dangerous part. Not the symptoms themselves, but ignoring them. Sexual function, whether shared or solo, is a powerful reflection of your overall health. When things change in the bedroom, something deeper is shifting in your cardiovascular, nervous, or hormonal systems. Those small signs are messages, and if you don't listen, the messages fade until you're left with silence, disconnection, even dysfunction. There is nothing shameful about noticing a change in how your body responds. In fact, it's a sign of strength, of a man who pays attention, who honors his body's signals. A simple checkup, a chat with a men's health specialist, a few shifts in diet, exercise, or rest. These small steps can make a big difference if you act early enough. Your body has carried you for over 70 years. It deserves to be heard, not just when it breaks, but when it whispers. Remember, sensation is a gift, and when it begins to fade, it's not an ending. It's a gentle invitation to come home to yourself. Life lesson: caring for yourself, even in your most private moments. Aging is a time of reflection, but also a time to slow down, to live more intentionally, and to treat yourself with deeper kindness. The 4 masturbation mistakes we explored today may seem small on the surface, but they reveal something far more powerful: that your body, after all these years, is still alive, still speaking, still asking to be cared for. Just because you're 70, 75, or even 80, doesn't mean your private needs become less important. In fact, they remain a deeply human part of you. And when done with care, these moments can offer more than release. They can reconnect you to yourself, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. What matters now is that you notice the changes in sensation, function, or energy. And instead of ignoring them, you respond. Choose the right time, choose safe positions, approach the act with presence and gentleness. Most of all, listen to what your body is trying to say. When you honor yourself in even the most private parts of life, you are saying, I still matter. I still deserve to feel alive and whole every day. And the truth is, you're not alone in this. There are thousands of other men also learning to make peace with aging, with shifting bodies, and with their evolving sense of self. If anything you heard today resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Type 1 if you feel you've learned something valuable. Type 0 if you're still processing. Like the video if you think this topic deserves more attention, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more honest, empowering content to help you age well, live fully, and stay true to yourself. Your age does not diminish your worth. It simply invites you to slow down and love yourself more wisely.